to a new week. Welcome to a new week. And you know what I was looking at, which I think is really, really interesting, is I was thinking about how did people communicate in the past? And I was thinking about all the different illnesses and the different plagues and sicknesses that there have been. And do you know what? I think it's really interesting, the different diseases and how they communicate. I was looking at the Black Death. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? The Black Death or the bubonic plague, that it was in Europe in the year 1343 to 1353. And it came back again. It went and it came back all the time. And the last bubonic plague or the Black Death was in Europe in 1665 until 1666. And it was terrible. It was really bad. It came from Asia and the rats brought it to Europe. 75 million people died. And I was wondering, how do they know how many people died? And you know, there was no internet, there was no Zoom, there was no TV, nothing. And in those days, people told each other just by talking or by listening. And people used to go from town to town visiting each other and telling each other how bad the plague was. It was a pandemic like now. And, you know, obviously there was a lot of gossip, a lot of rumor, things weren't true, some things were true. That's why they don't know how many people died, because it was just speculation. But apparently so many people died, 75 million, can you imagine, to 200 million people died. Wow. More or less. But, you know, that they just communicated by talking to each other and listening to each other and having meetings in the church and having meetings in the town squares. That was the only way to communicate. You know, I thought it was, wow, it's amazing how communications changed, you know, diseases have changed. And I don't know whether, you know, do you know anything about other communications or other diseases?
Well, talking about this topic, I found out that the Spanish flu that happened in 1918 was originated most in the United States. But why do they call it Spanish flu? It was because the label stuck to it because the Spanish newspapers were the first to report the outbreak. And that epidemic was really, really, really like the worst one. It's similar to what we're living now, but it was more worst. More people died. And I also was wondering, how did they communicate during that time to know how many people died, if they could communicate with their family members? So I found out that they had telephone operators there. So the ladies there helped the communication to go on during that epidemic. They also had flyers, they had newspapers, and they had news reporters help write all those news so everybody could find out what was going on.
So it was more accurate.
Yeah, so it was more, the communication was much better and during that time. They had typewriters, so they helped them type the news for all the people to find out about the epidemic during that time.
Oh, interesting.
How things change during time, no? Because now, for example, with the coronavirus, the COVID-19, we found out about this last year and at around December of 2019 when this started in China. We saw it as something that would have never come to Bolivia, and we would constantly see all of the updates of all of the different countries that were getting infected by this, like Italy and in Spain. And then all of a sudden it arrived to South America. The good thing is about this new pandemic is that we're able to stay close with our family members. And even though we're isolated in our own houses, through the different technologies that they have available for communication, we can talk like us right now that we're having our beautiful coffee time through a video call, right? You guys probably also heard of Zoom, or you have Teams. There's also telephone calls and video calls through WhatsApp. And we can get the accurate information of how many people have been infected each day. For example, Bolivia has the website that the government made. I don't know if you guys have seen it, that it's called Bolivia
Yeah.
Segura, where you can see it, and constantly online. You can go in at any time during the day, and they show you how many people have been infected, how many people have recovered, and unfortunately, how many people have passed away. And you have this available for all of the world. So we can see really how many people worldwide have been infected. It's marvelous how this communication has improved.
It's amazing. Yeah, I have an app that's a COVID-19 map tracker, and it shows the world and all the numbers in all different countries of the world, and it always changes. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know, it must have been so scary in the age of the bubonic plague or the Black Death to not know what was happening,
Yeah,
around.
I was thinking
And
too.
I suppose that's why so many people got infected, because they didn't know, because they weren't warned. There was no numbers, no information.
Yeah, I wonder how families were during those times. Also during the Spanish flu, maybe they couldn't find out about their family members if they were sick or not by that flu.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been very interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting topic, the communication in the times of pandemics and diseases, and COVID-19 especially.
Because now I'm sure, Adrian, you can probably contact your family in England to see how they're doing. I also contact my family in Europe, in Germany, in Spain, and we can see if they're working, if they're not working, what are the government's guidelines that they have given them to take care, their security measures.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're lucky that technology has improved, communication has improved so much that now we can contact our family and our friends whenever we want to.